So I came across this post by somebody who said, I saw Reinhard Bonnke in hell. Let me read it for you and then I will make my comments on that. This is what the person wrote. I saw Reinhard Bonnke in hell. From the testimony of John Bradley. My name is John Bradley. I am 38 years old. If you looked at my life from the outside, you would probably think I had it all. I lived in Detroit where I had a high-paying job as a corporate executive. I drove the best cars, lived in the fancy apartment with a great view of the city, and spent my nights at parties. People looked at me and thought this guy is successful, but deep down I felt like a fraud. Even though I had everything I ever wanted, money, power, a glamorous life, none of it made me truly happy. I thought I was strong and that I didn't need God or faith, but deep down I always felt like something was missing. One rainy night, my life took a drastic turn. I was recovering from another night of heavy drinking. My head hurt and my body was exhausted, but I had to get to an important meeting. I didn't feel like myself, but I got into my car anyway. As I drove, the rain poured heavily, making it hard to see the road. The windshield whispered struggle to keep up, and I felt more and more tired. Then in an instant, everything changed. I don't even remember the crash. One moment I was driving and the next I heard the sound of metal twisting, glass breaking, and then silence. I felt myself drifting into darkness. When I woke up, I wasn't in my car. I wasn't in the hospital either. I was in a place I can only describe as wrong. It was dark, but not the kind of darkness you experience at night. It was a thick, heavy darkness that pressed down on me. There was no sound, no warmth, nothing. At first, I didn't understand where I was. I reached out, trying to find something solid, but there was nothing. Then slowly, the air around me began to change. It got hotter and thicker, making it hard to breathe. Panic set in as I realized I was in a place I had only heard about in stories, hell. As I moved deeper into this place, I saw something that made my blood run cold. There was a massive pit in front of me, filled with fire and smoke. I could hear the screams of people, but couldn't see their faces. The sight of it filled me with fear I can't put into words. Then suddenly I saw something, or rather someone I never expected. In the middle of the fire, chained and broken was Reinhard Bonnke, the man I had admired for years. I couldn't believe it. This was a man who preached about God, healing, and salvation. How could he be here in hell, suffering like this? I stared in disbelief. Reinhard Bonnke turned to me and spoke. His voice was weak and filled with sorrow. I was wrong, he said. I thought I was doing God's work, but I let my pride blind me. I turned faith into a transaction. I promised people healing and miracles, but I focused too much on the crowds, the power, and the money. I used God's name for my own glory. I was stunned. This was a man who had led thousands, maybe millions to Christ, and yet he was admitting that he had lost his way. Faith isn't about demanding miracles, Bonnke continued. It's about surrendering to God's will. I failed to understand that, and it brought me here. His words hit me like a bolt of lightning. For the first time, I realized that my own life had been built on the same lies. I tried to fill this emptiness with success, money, and pleasure, but none of it had worked, and now I understand why. True faith, Bonnke said, isn't about what you can get from God. It's about trusting Him, loving Him, and surrendering to His grace. You don't have to make the same mistake I did. John, turn back before it is too late. I don't remember how I got back, but when I woke up, I was in the hospital. I knew my life would never be the same. I made a choice that day. I surrendered my life to God. I stopped chasing success and started seeking His will. It hasn't been easy, but the very first time I feel free, the emptiness is gone, replaced by a peace I never thought I would find. My story is a powerful reminder to you that faith isn't about what we can get from God. It's about trusting Him with everything. If you are feeling lost, empty, or like something is missing in your life, take my advice. Surrender to God. Trust in His grace. It is never too late to turn back. God bless you. Now, when I saw this message, I don't know if to laugh at this message or if to what to see. Now, this man claimed he saw Reinhard Bonnke in hell, and Evangelist Bonnke was preaching to him, telling him how he missed it, how he was only after money, power. If you look at Evangelist Bonnke's ministry very well, money was never an influence. He doesn't even collect offering in his crusade ground. In fact, even the offerings that are gathered and given to him in crusade ground, he give them back to churches afterwards and thereabout. And Reinhard Bonnke, when he died, he was not even really so much into active ministry per se, because of some of the health challenges that he had. He just resigned and retired back to a quiet life and mostly his online ministry. And then these people will go about spreading fear among people and making people to think as if even efforts of great people like this are in vain. In the first place, these people are making it look as if it is your extreme carefulness that would guarantee you're going to heaven. Nobody goes to heaven because he did anything on their own. People go to heaven because they put their faith simply in the sacrifice, in the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Most of these hell advocates, I discovered that they are trying to push people into trying to enter heaven by their own effort, making you look as if a tiny mistake is enough to take you to hell. When at the end of the day, even their own lives are full of mistake, and they end up discouraging the hearts of people. And I feel some of these things are really directly sponsored by hell to discourage the hearts of people from following God. And a man who have served God in this capacity, you are coming to tell everybody that you saw the person in hell. Some of these people think as if they are doing the work of God, when in reality what they are really working for is working for the devil and spreading fear, spreading wrong information, revelation. You saw Reinhard Bonnke in hell, and Reinhard Bonnke is preaching this kind of message, preaching sound gospel like this. But that doesn't even look more like the way normally that Reinhard Bonnke talks and all of that. And then you come back and you said, no, God showed you a revelation that no, you saw Reinhard Bonnke in hell and all of that. Some people, and if you follow these people very well, they'll ask them, okay, if all these great people that God has raised are people that are going to hell, are people that you have seen in hell, who should you follow? They will not be. I don't want to really mention other people's name in this particular video, so it doesn't look as if I'm trying to castigate. But they will mention names of people that we know that they ended up, interacting with certain politicians who, pumped money into the ministry, and the people, the ministers entered into all kinds of fight because of the money. And it look as, let me not, I don't really want to get into personal, mentioning people's name, but what is wrong is coming up to come and spread this kind of wrong, evil satanic information that great generals like Reinhard Bonnke, who have spent their life, preaching the gospel of Christ, winning souls to Christ, a man who even when he died, he was not concerned with trying to hand over the ministry to, his successor or his family member or anything. He looked for Evangelist Daniel Kolenda, who is not even associated with his family, handing over the ministry to him, to you, just because probably, like I saw somebody was commenting on that Reinhard Bonnke used to put his picture on his poster, that is more of somebody that is promoting self. May God have mercy on some of these people. Anyways, I don't know what you think about this. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to the channel, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified when we post another video like this. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.
I tell you what salvation is. Salvation is that his image is going to be restored in you. He restoreth my soul, David said. Jesus is making all things new. New is a Bible word. New birth, new tongues, new wine, new songs, a new covenant, new name, new creation, new commandment, new heaven and a new earth.